dear God, can these Muppets not leave anything alone? So these two stories showed up on the internet on the same day. One was a controversy because a project manager had managed to land on a comet, something that no one had ever done before. But feminists were appalled at the shirt that he wore while doing it. The other was about Kim Kardashian, who apparently had her picture taken. Well, what were the feminists appalled about? Well, apparently a nearly naked woman. No, not her. Real women taking off their clothes, especially if it's only done to put all over the internet or on magazines, not a problem. However, if a guy wears an outlandish shirt for a big occasion, that's crossing a line.
The fact that a scientist of any gender, but especially a man, would think it's a good idea to wear a shirt covered in naked women while representing a major space agency and a significant research project is appalling.
Appalling.
And clearly, he had no idea that he was engaging in exactly the kind of casual sexism that drives women away from STEM. Okay, let me just stop right there. If you are the type of woman who will allow a shirt to prevent you from joining in on these types of jobs.
This mission is there to answer some of the fundamental questions of how our solar system formed, why it formed, why the planets evolved as they did, and fundamentally why we're here as well. Comets are a leftover debris from the early solar system formation, so we look back in time at these, it gives an indication of how things evolved.
Then you don't deserve to work in these fields, okay? If that's all it takes, a shirt is gonna offend you to that extent. It's fucking ridiculous.
But what really pisses me off is the double standards. If this scientist had been a woman, and these people had made exactly these sorts of comments about her attire being sexually suggestive, we would have been accused of slut-shaming, victim-blaming, creating a sexually hostile environment, trying to make women ashamed of their sexuality, catcalling, mansplaining, pursuing a heteronormative narrative, nagging, microaggressions, and a billion and other one terms made up by feminists to ensure that women are always portrayed as victims. Yeah, so these feminists really didn't have a problem with a woman wearing very tight, sexually suggestive clothing and this being seen by millions. But one guy has a much more vanilla cartoon version of that on his shirt. That outraged them. But this is what really bugs me here, is this guy had a tattoo of the landing done on his leg.
I'm the project scientist. We're here to do science. We've been doing science for the last year. We'll continue to do science all the way through next year. I'm incredibly confident that we're going to nail this landing. Confident enough to have it drawn on my body. So
a tattoo, you mean? Should we
Yes.
take a look?
Yeah.
Let's have a look at your tattoo here.
So that's my prediction for later today, that we get the lander on the comet.
And would you believe it? He wore a Cannibal Corpse t-shirt whilst getting his Rosetta Mission tattoo done. Sure, you might not see these things as terribly normal. But I've got news for you. Good scientists frequently are not very normal. You are trying to discover something that no other human being has ever discovered, or trying to do things that no other human being has ever done. And believe me, in such an endeavour, being middle of the road normal is positively disadvantageous. Let me just give you me as an example here. When I heard about this, I went straight to look up the mass of the comet, and about 50 minutes later, I had worked out, by virtue of the fact that I can jump about 5 centimeters or a couple of inches here on Earth, I worked out that if I was on this comet, not only could I jump into orbit, I could actually reach escape velocity just by jumping off this comet, which were to me a far more interesting and meaty subject than Kim Kardashian's ass. But seeing as there's a bunch of feminists out there who just can't bring themselves to hear the stone-cold based truth from a man, I'll let someone with a different chromosomal content deliver the same message.
Again, when you start pointing to things like this and you say, oh my God, this is sexism, it belittles actual sexism. Then when you want to make a point about something that really is happening, let's say there's inequality in the workplace, people aren't going to take you as seriously because they're going to associate you with the nut jobs that think that that's sexism. I'm not offended by that shirt at all, not even a little bit.